Writing a blog.
Hi English learners, a warm Namibian welcome to all our NAMCO learners and everybody else interested in learning to speak and write in better English. This is lesson 5, the final lesson in our 5-part series especially meant for advanced subsidiary level English second language learners. Our syllabus requires grade 12 learners to be able to organize ideas logically when writing for a specific audience and purpose. That is what directed writing is, and it includes writing speeches, articles, emails, and web blogs. That is what we are discussing today, writing a blog post. Thanks for your company and listening. They call me Teacher Monica. With me is Paulus, my grade 12 learner, whom you will remember from the previous 2 programs. Hi, Paulus.
Hello, Miss Monica. I'm so glad we are doing blogs today. It's such a fun topic.
You do remember that a piece of directed writing is something of a specified length that you can be instructed to compose, right?
Yes, ma'am.
In the exam, it could be a speech or article, an email or a blog post. You will remember that we spoke about the importance of considering the audience and the purpose of writing. We then saw that knowing the type of audience includes having an idea of their age, location, education, and so on. We also discovered that people write for various purposes, which may be to entertain, to inform, instruct, and persuade.
Yes, I remember, Miss Monica.
In directed writing, you should be able to recognize and summarize key information. It is also important to use the correct form of the text, whether an email format, blog, article, or speech. Throughout, learners, you must remember to use matching language for the particular audience. You should also apply the correct elements and conventions for the audience and the purpose of the writing. Now you are ready to continue with the blog post.
Yay, the blog.
Why are you so excited about blog writing, Paulus? Do you know exactly what a blog is?
It is something almost like a diary, which people write on the internet.
That's good. Raw definition. Thanks, Paulus. There are many definitions for the term blog. The dictionary might define it as you are going to cringe at this word, truncation of the web log. A truncation is a shortened form built by taking some parts of words and joining them to form another word. But yes, one can safely say your definition is best. A blog is just a diary or regular record of the blogger's thoughts, opinions, and experiences that are put on the internet for others to read. A blog often contains links, which are words or pictures that connect to other sites on the internet. The blog should have a name, and it can be singularly or corporately owned. It is advisable that the name of the blog reflects what the blog is mainly about, because that helps people of the same interest as yours, that is your audience, to easily find you.
What are the key elements of a blog, then?
I can see you are impatient to start writing a blog, Paulus. All right then. Blogs have many features, but there are some elements that separate the blog from other internet activities. Within the blog, you will have a number of different blog posts, each addressing different issues that you, the blogger, want to discuss. It should have what I will call a magnetic headline, a compelling lead, and an informative and engaging body. In the body of your blog, there will be blog comments, a powerful call to action, and a blog sidebar.
Wow. What? A magnetic headline? What do you mean, miss?
Because it has to draw your audience attention.
You had me confused there for a second, ma'am. I thought it was some tech thing. But you mean the headline should be really interesting so that it would attract attention of many readers.
Yes, that's what I mean. You can use strong, emotional words in the headline to give it added magnetism, more draw power. Here it already becomes essential to consider who your audience is. There will be a specific audience that you want to draw to your blog.
It's like a bold or striking headline.
Yes, exactly. Even when you are presenting great content, your content can get lost and remain unread because people are not drawn to your blog due to a poor headline.
That would be really sad.
Yes, and disappointing for you because you put a lot of effort into the content, right? So spice up your headline with a word or two that will grab readers' attention and make it stand out. Remember that people are moved to action when they read something that appeals to their emotions. That is what you are trying to achieve with your blog. Grab their attention, inspire them to act.
I get it, miss.
The first sentence or short paragraph of the blog post must compel visitors to read the second paragraph. You want to draw your readers in and keep them reading. Don't take forever to get to the point, but make sure there is sufficient build-up so that readers will want to know more about the information you are presenting and will appreciate it once they understand your ideas. One very important characteristic of this genre of writing is that it must be conversational in style. When a reader reads your blog post, he or she should feel as if the two of you are in conversation with each other.
But how will the people comment?
There is a space reserved for comments on each blog. Once a person has posted a comment, others will see it and can respond to the comment or to your original post. That is how you interact with your audience and they with one another.
It's really cool.
I think so too. This interaction is what makes a blog extra interesting, besides your interesting content, of course. But let's move on. A blog also has a sidebar, which is a perfect place to display important information. It could be advertisements that pop up, links that you display, and so on. Things you want visitors to the blog to see. Your blog patrons usually click on this sidebar or enter information as they respond to the call to action.
Miss, is a blog very similar to Facebook?
There are common features that the two share, but the call to action and the sidebar, these two, appear in a blog, but not on a Facebook page or form.
Thank you, ma'am.
Do you see how the key elements of a blog fit together?
Yes, Miss Monica, I do. Are we expected to create a blog in the examination? How would we know the examiner's interests?
Oh, not at all, don't worry. That would be too high an expectation, and I'm sure the learners would not easily finish such an examination in time. However, you are required to write a blog post. Do you know the difference? Creating a blog would mean setting up all the forms for the headline, the comments, the sidebar, and you are not required to do this in an exam. But writing of a blog post starts with the name, the headline, the body of the blog, up to the call to action and adding of a sidebar.
Will we have to draw those spaces for the comments, sidebar, and call to action?
Thank you for such insightful questions, Paulus. No, you will not draw anything in the blog post. Instead, you will respond to it just as you do with any other directed writing task. Just remember that for it to be different from a speech or article, your writing must reflect the elements of blogs which we have discussed here. This you can show by somewhere in your post, asking people to comment or to leave their email addresses to tick or like.
Yes, I see. So, it is important to have this call to action somewhere in a blog post, asking people to interact by commenting or leaving their details, or to tick or like.
Well done, Paulus.
Are we done already with the lesson?
Before we wrap it up, let me give you some general tips to use as you and other learners prepare for directed writing in an assignment or an exam. Remember, you will not just be told to write a blog or email, speech or article, but you will be given a text that will function as the context for your writing. The examiners provide candidates with source material and detailed instructions which stipulate both the nature of the material to be used in the answer, the form the writing must take, and the audience for which it is intended. Please read the question or instruction first before reading the text. Write down all the features of the form you have to include. When you eventually read the text, tick these features off. Go through and highlight the topic sentences so you get the main information. Highlight sections that stand out for you. They may be interesting, shocking, or controversial. Make sure they link to what the question is asking.
That's valuable information, Miss. Thank you very much.
That's right. And importantly, always keep in mind who your audience is. Use language that is appropriate for your audience and purpose.
I have another question, Miss.
Anytime, Paulus. This is the time to ask anything about this topic.
Usually, in a language paper, we are required to write a certain number of words. Do we also have to count our words in directed writing? Like when you write a blog post?
Oh no, Paulus. But you should actually practice before the exam to write a blog post on a writing pad similar to the one usually used in the exam to avoid surprises in the examination room.
Yes, I can see that getting exposed to a variety of text for different purposes would really help us practice our writing for different purposes and audiences. It would teach us to select relevant details, understand and interpret, and learn to spot attitudes and opinions in the source material. Thanks again, Miss Monica. I feel enabled.
Please stay that way until the exams, hey? Listeners, learners, this concludes our series of radio learning programs for NSSCAS English Second Language learners. Please listen and re-listen to them if you can. The syllabus aims to enable learners to become confident speakers and writers of English as a second language. Now let me wish you well for the exams, Paulus, you and all AS learners who are preparing for the life beyond school. Thank you for listening. And remember that NAMCOL has many more radio lessons that can help you brush up on exciting school topics in your grade. Check out our website on www.youtube.com/c/NAMCOL-EDU1. Thank you to Heziwell Munduru, who wrote the lessons for this series, and others in the NAMCOL team who improved on them. Ms. Florence Kawami is the program developer for Advanced Subsidiary English Second Language. Our off-site script editor is Lynette Smith. We acknowledge NAMCO's Coordinator for E-Learning Materials Development, Ms. Audrey Polton, and Educational Broadcast Coordinator, Manfred Isaacs, who brings everything together technically. So until another time, goodbye, listeners.
Goodbye.
This lesson is produced by NAMCOL with funding from the Ministry of Education, Arts and Culture.